Hi, I'm Caroline. Welcome back to my channel, where today I am posting a follow-up, or part 2 if you will, to a video I posted back in June where I tried on everything in my spring and summer wardrobe. I'm not gonna tease ya, okay, and leave you hanging like that. So here is everything in my fall and winter wardrobe. Yeah, you're gonna want to sit down and get comfortable for this one. It's gonna be long because for whatever reason I, as a woman living in LA, a place famously known for being kind of 70 and sunny all year round, own a lot of sweaters and jackets, like 35 jackets. I don't even know if there's 35 like technically cold days in the year here. But sure. I'm trying to rack my brain if there's any sort of disclaimer that I should be giving right now. I'm sure there's like 10, but you know, I'm not gonna do that. You know what this is. So let's just get into it. I hope you enjoy. Considering this is a video about my fall and winter wardrobe, it only feels right to start off by showing you my jackets and coats, because that is a category that you did not really get a peek into with the spring and summer wardrobe video. Starting this off with my tried and true fringe jackets, which there is actually 3, but I showed you this in that spring and summer video. You know, I mean, fuck it, I'll just try them all on, like, while we're here. 1940s buckskin leather incredible fringe jacket. Surprisingly goes with a lot more in my wardrobe than you would maybe think, because the color is kind of like mustardy yellow, but it's just everything. It was the jacket of my dreams, and I bought it for myself as a Christmas present last year. $25 from Goodwill. I know, you're mad about it. And listen, I would be too. Of course, gotta have, just for me, staple, classic, essentially goes with everything in my wardrobe, the brown fringe. It's perfect, and I'm really happy that I got into fringe jackets before they started currently trending, because it made finding the hunt for them a little less competitive. I am happy with the 3 that I have, but I could definitely see myself acquiring a few more, probably once the trend dies down and they are once again easier and a bit cheaper on like Depop and eBay and at flea markets to find, but they're just awesome. Got some lighter weight jackets to get through, like this tour coat, which a lighter weight jacket is ideal for me considering where I live if I'm wanting to get the most wear out of something, and also I feel like the versatility, a lot more styling opportunities. Could maybe consider this more of a button-up shirt, but I'm taking the red with the corduroy. This is the jacket. This is what an LA jacket is. On the topic of corduroy, this really fun vintage FFA jacket that I had been searching for one of these jackets, and I'm really excited. I recently added this to my wardrobe, and so I'm hoping it'll actually get chilly enough soon that I can start wearing and properly styling this. Another really great, more lightweight jacket that I love the specific shade of orangey brown of this. I have a lot of boots in this color, so they pair quite nicely together. And there's also some fun detailing on this with the buttons, and there's this like little cross-stitch leather trim throughout that I really like. When I think about what my holy grail items in my wardrobe are, this item is always hovering around the top of that list. It is just the most insane antique opera jacket from most likely the 1930s. It is very, very much inspired by jackets from the Ottoman Empire. This is my grown-up, late 20s-something, sophisticated, chic woman with her chocolatey espresso brown blazer on that's the perfect, slightly oversized fit with 2 front pockets and these beautiful little pearlescent buttons. And I liked that so much I got a coat version of it as well. It's a little maybe ridiculous to some to own both of these items because they are so similar, but they have very different functions for me. This is a lot heavier duty. It's a proper coat. It's a lot more warm. It also has gold buttons on it instead of the pearlescent ones, as well as just like the most insane little back buckle detail. And it's very sexy, pirate, a la Elizabeth Swann in 2025. Another similar yet very different to the red corduroy jacket you saw earlier on. This is a velvet rust orange color jacket that is actually very different if you want to get into the details. Alright, getting into some of the more heavy-duty jackets now. This plaid toggle number, I thrifted actually like in the middle of August when it was 110 degrees out, but I saw this, it was like $12, I want to say, at the thrift store, and probably only so cheap and there because it was quite out of season. And I had been wanting to get a really cool like fall autumnal plaid flannelly jacket, and I love a toggle button situation. And so finding this, I was like, it's kind of random, but I just have to get it. And it has a hood. Like, what the hell, sure. Black leather, I believe 80s moment happening with the subtle shoulder pads, especially for the 80s, and nice little tie around the waist. Yeah. Another incredible thrift store find that was, I want to say $10, and it's just the most beautiful, soft, buttery leather. Vintage leather really is the way to go. And if you get up close enough, you can see it's in the most just gorgeous, like plummy eggplant shade of purple. Oh my god, and all the buttons too. I love. Every cool, sexy woman has to have her even cooler, even sexier vintage black motorcycle leather jacket. I feel like the protagonist in a 90s rom-com whenever I wear this tweed coat, which is vintage from the 90s, so, you know, maybe that's why. It's very on theme. Feels already kind of random to own one feathery fur bolero, but then the fact that I own two. To be fair, this first one was actually a recent hand-me-down from my best friend's mom, Sally, who I've mentioned in previous videos, has gifted me more of what you're gonna see throughout this video. Some of the most just like insane, cool, usually 70s to 90s vintage. This other one, however, I purchased myself with my own grown-up, very adult, very serious money. I saw it on Depop, and I didn't know when or where the hell I was gonna wear this, but I had to have it, and that was like 5 years ago. And since then, I think I've worn this twice. And I still stand by this purchase, so, and it's not going anywhere anytime soon. Well, that was fast. Speaking of Sally hand-me-downs, this one right here might just be my favorite from her. She actually presented me with this number back in, I think it was August. I was like, do you want this? It was mine in the 70s. I don't know, I haven't worn it in decades. And I was like, are you kidding me? A jacket exactly like this had been living at the top of my vintage wish list forever. And the fact that I got it, and it was free dollars and free cents, say less. I told you at the start of this, alright? It's a lot of coats and jackets, period, for a person to have, but especially a person who lives in a place with such a temperate, skewing warm climate. Anyways, Antique Mall find, 1940s. Absolutely beautiful. The Antique Mall strikes yet again, as it seems to do quite a lot with me. I really love the silhouette of this jacket in particular. I think it has like slightly puffed shoulders and sleeves with a higher collar. It's just really unique to anything else that I have in my closet. Oh, and last but certainly not least for the coats and jackets, it's Big Mama. $12 at a thrift store. Would you believe it or not? It's insane. Again, it's a really special piece that is so completely impractical for where I live and like my day-to-day life, but not everything in your wardrobe needs to be practical. You can have fun, crazy pieces, especially when they cost you as much as like an iced vanilla latte with oat milk, half sweet, extra shot in this economy. Okay, and now it's time for dresses, because in my spring and summer video, that was actually only half of my dress collection, and I wanted to start off with actually my realization par dresses, because I had shown you some of them in that video, but since then I have a couple that are more fall winter, and then a few that I have acquired since that video during sales they've had recently. And on the Real. It's a problem. Okay, I've never pretended that it's not. This navy blue floral number was one of the Real scores, and look at the low back on this. Sexy. I did get this like a month and a half ago, and it has already become one of the most worn items in my wardrobe. It's so easy to style and dress up or dress down, and I'm really excited moving into the fall time to get some autumnal outfits for LA going with this. I think the color is already doing most of the work with the navy, but this is definitely going to be something that I just wear all year round. Just thinking to show you it in that previous video, so I'm showing you it now. Ooh, also, do I even want to try this on? This is very, very summery. Definitely not a fall and winter item, but it is a realization par item. Little cherry dress. That is just too fucking adorable. Absolutely obsessed with this. Again, with the spring summery silhouette, but the colors feeling very fall. And I don't want to play favorites, so I'm just gonna leave you with this. The milkmaid-esque neckline on this dress is just doing so much for me. Obviously, I'm a sucker for the red with the black flowers. It is one of the few mini dresses that I own as well, along with that cherry realization dress. Truly just insanity. I don't really know what else to say. It's like, oh, the perfect dress does exist, and it's currently on my body. If you've watched any of my recent outfit videos, then you've definitely seen this dress. It is based off of one that Sarah Jessica Parker actually wore in, I believe it was the 90s, and Realization took some pretty heavy inspiration from that dress. I have no complaints. Lastly, for the Realization Par dresses, I have on this tiger number, which I actually don't ever really wear as a dress. It has buttons all the way up the center, and so I will usually style this as a kind of duster cardigan, additional layering situation. I like to do that with any dresses that have buttons up the centers in general, and I'll maybe secure like the first kind of couple top buttons. So I don't know if you can tell that this dress is a little bit big on me. I had to learn the hard way with Realization dresses that because of my cleavage or lack thereof cleavage situation, I need to size down in their dresses most of the time, or this will happen and it looks quite awkward and I don't like the bunching, and yeah, or I'll have to get them altered. But I have this on as a dress right now, but usually I have it styled open with like a little skirt or over another dress, or even a pair of pants is really fun. I've done it with outfits on my Instagram, so if you follow me on there, you've probably seen it. For obvious reasons, I associate this dress with the fall, this color. It's just incredible, and the next couple of dresses that I'm going to show you are dresses that are either slip style or sleeveless, and so I could wear them in warmer months, but because of the color or pattern and or texture, I associate them more with fall and winter. So yeah. Stunning 1930s silk slip dress that I hand-dyed myself, and it does desperately need to be steamed. Also hand-dyed this dress. Now this right here is one of the few polyester items I've allowed into my wardrobe because I'm obsessed with the medieval Renaissance-esque pattern on this. I mean, like, she is so made. Classic black velvet maxi dress, a fall staple to some, and very Nicole Kidman a la Practical Magic. Kind of random, and it is another black maxi dress. This one though, I recently got it at a thrift store. It is Ralph Lauren, and it's more gown adjacent than that previous black velvet dress. It's from Ralph Lauren, and it's incredible quality. It fits me amazing. I love this kind of boat higher neckline. I didn't have a real reason for getting this, if I'm being so honest. I just felt like as a woman in my late 20s, I should have a dress like this for an occasion, I don't know, like a guest at a wedding or a fancier dinner. I didn't have anything like this, and I figured, sure, why not? I could also, while dressing it up, dress it down and lean into that kind of Jillian Practical Magic and or Buffy the Vampire Slayer vibe. So really comfortable. Again, too, it's silk, but it feels like stretchy, like that material. You know, what if I do that at the wedding? I wear this too as a guest. Do you think I'll have a meet cute with a guy on the dance floor? Black lacy slip dress that I use predominantly for layering underneath things, like that tiger dress from Realization Par. Over it, open, the duster, this under. Antique Edwardian corset cover dress that definitely would have been included in spring summer video, but I got it after I had filmed that, so I'm showing you it now. Go along with my other two antique, three of these dresses. Like, so precious, vintage from the 70s maxi dress. That's another great fall in LA item. I feel like a pumpkin when I'm wearing this. And it's perfect. A dress I've deemed as my Miss Honey from Matilda dress. You know, I have a lot of dresses, okay? Save the best for last, maybe, with this just stunning Renaissance princess gunny sack dress that also makes me feel like Florence Welch, who I am obsessed with and want to be and want to live in her skin, and also wish for the power of invisibility so that I could rob her wardrobe. Before moving on, we gotta take a proper moment for the neckline on this thing. The lace inserts with the sleeves, the puff shoulders. You're sick. You're sick. This is sick. Seems like the most natural progression to go from showing you my dresses into the couple of jumpsuits that I have, like this really fun denim jumpsuit from the 70s. This is what happens. It's the evolution of what started as my overall obsession into just like any kind of denim jumper adult onesie situation. Very strongly envisioned this with my brown fringe jacket and these boots and a bandana in the fall. Look at the pockets on them and the back. It's all open and crisscrosses. Incredible. The adult onesie thing? Right. Yeah, but make it look chic and cool and fashionable. Some people, you're gonna get the vision with this, and some, arguably most, are not, and that's okay. Because half the time when I'm wearing this, I don't either. But doesn't that kind of just sum up life? Okay, obviously not a jumpsuit, but I have this set and then one other that I wanted to include in this category because although I could wear these pieces separately, I prefer how they look together, and this just felt like the best place and category to put them. The other set, which is a bit of a work in progress, mainly the pants on these desperately need to be hemmed, as well as kind of just given a complete makeover, like taken in at the waist. I need the thighs to be made a bit tighter as well, which I knew when I bought this that I was going to have to probably fork over a good amount of money to my tailor, because although I can sew and have altered my clothing in the past, never like this extent, but I feel like it's worth it because the set is so fucking cool. There's this sort of a bleached acid wash look to the material of this. It's also a super thin denim, which is really nice. And of course, I mean, what really sold me was the embroidery. It's all on the jacket. Look at that. And on the pant leg as well. Once these pants actually fit me, I think this might possibly be one of my favorite items in my wardrobe and become very worn. You're going to be seeing a lot of this, and I'm excited because, oh my god, it's everything. Getting on into my pants, which is admittedly an area of my wardrobe that I could improve upon a bit. I struggle with pants and finding the right kind of fit and silhouette for me, but here's what I have so far. So first off is this pair of incredible 70s maroon flare pants. Definitely some of my go-to pants for fall, and I'm showing you my butt right now because there is a really cool arch detail in the back that I love when specifically 70s pants do this a lot. I have these super fun, like paneled, high-waisted flares. Also really great and fun. Very classic fall item to me, which is these brown little corduroy pants. Again, high-waisted, and they have this kind of cool, almost like a Western influence, the detail happening that I really like in the back. More with the flare and high-waisted, with this gingham pair of pants being definitely the most high-waisted pair of pants that I have in my wardrobe, maybe even item, period. In a very shocking turn of events, I have more gingham pants, this red and white pair that are not high-waisted, but they are kind of flared at the bottom. And very cute. So cute, actually, that I bought them in green as well. These are from the brand Many Many Clothes. They're a UK-based, small, sustainable business. I will say, I wished I had kind of sized up for these so they fit a little bit higher up, but I also kind of don't mind them sitting more just relaxed and low-waisted. I love to cuff the bottom of these a lot. Name dropping Sally, again from earlier, best friend's mom, gives me lots of cool hand-me-downs. These are another one of them I really love. I mean, obviously the color, but also this like cross-stitching throughout. It's so good. They've wrinkled and dirty because I've been wearing these a lot recently and usually cuffing the bottoms because that's kind of my signature. I love to cuff a pair of pants, alright? But these are French workwear, vintage. This shade of blue on the French workwear, it's always gonna get me. Sort of similar, but sort of different vibes happening with these vintage army pants, literal army pants. They don't just look like it. They would actually wear these in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. Low-waisted Y2K realness happening with these jeans, which are yet another Sally hand-me-down. They're Joe's jeans, and different from what I usually go for, but I do really like them, and I really like the fading throughout them. It's cool. Levi's baggy dad jeans in the pinstripe. The baggy dad style that Levi's makes is some of my favorite. I love the fit of these so much, from the mid to low rise with a lot of room in the thighs, which isn't always a requirement for my pants, as you've seen throughout this, but it's definitely my preference for like 80% of them. And I just love these, and I love the dark wash with this little pinstriping. They're just so good. Okay, so those baggy dads were new from Levi's, but these are a vintage pair from them that I feel like these are Levi's 550s, and I do feel like the baggy dad takes a lot of inspiration from the silhouette of the 550s, which the 550s and the 505s are some of my favorite of Levi's fits, so it probably makes sense as to why I like all of them. Ending this category off with, okay, would not style these like this, or honestly really even wear these antique Edwardian bloomers in the fall and winter, but I bought these I think like a month and a half ago, so I didn't show them in the other video, but I figured you still want to see them because they are really sweet and precious, and I like the kind of Bermuda length on them. They're higher waisted, they have this really cute little like scallop trim. Oh, hey there, we meet again because I want to talk to you. Take a quick little ad break for the sponsor of this video, who is Squarespace. My go-to all-in-one platform for designing a website or domain. I have partnered with Squarespace previously, so if you've seen any of my other videos, I'm sure you've heard me talk about them before. Accessibility is something really important to me, just all different facets of life, and that includes the platform I'm using to build a website. I want it to be easy to use and navigate. Whether you're looking to use one of the pre-made templates that Squarespace offers, they have an incredible selection with a really great variety of different aesthetics for whatever your taste preference is. However, Squarespace does also offer some really easy to use customizable tools, and trust me when I tell you that if I can use these and it's easy for me to navigate, then you can as well, because tech literacy is not exactly at the top of list of my many talents. Whatever vision you have in your head for your website, maybe you are somebody like me who is not only a little tech illiterate, but you also have a very specific preference for your aesthetic that you're going for. There's an opportunity to bring that vision and make it a reality, from anything to the layout, to the font, to the specific colors that you want to use. If any of this sounds like exactly the thing that you have been looking for, maybe you're wanting to start your own e-commerce site, design a portfolio, brush up, or completely create a resume, Squarespace can do all of that and more. You can scan the QR code up on the screen or head to squarespace.com/Caroline Tucker and receive 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Thank you so much to Squarespace for working with me yet again on another video. And with that, let's get into the rest of this fall and winter wardrobe, because yeah, we know there's still much more to see. It's time for tops, not sweaters. That's later on in this video. It's important to differentiate between the two. And similarly to how I categorize my dresses, I operate on a real vibes-based system with what I consider a fall and winter top, because obviously this one I'm wearing, I could wear in the spring and summer, but something about like the shade of purple with the slightly high mock turtleneck, it's more fall to me. It's not so much a science with this stuff, it's a feeling. It's guttural, you could even say. Really nice dark brown top that has this almost kind of crinkle texture going on, if you can see that. Get a look at this just stunning blue. It appears to be a knit top, but the material of this is actually linen, which I love. It makes it a lot more comfortable for at least me and my quite sensitive skin to wear. Super witchy, dark, plummy purple velvet top that I actually bought this in high school. Fun fact, I thrifted it from Goodwill, and over 10 years later, we're still going strong. Slightly lighter shade of plum purple velvet top that, funnily enough, I also got this when I was in high school. Not thrifted, from like some random boutique in my town. Alright, now antique Edwardian little tank corset cover should be in the spring summer video, but I only acquired it in September, so that's why I'm showing you it now. And I had to, because this is so beautiful, and all of the detail with the neckline. Turns out I acquired two. Yeah, but this one, it has sleeves on it. Okay. Very different, okay? Reasons that I did in fact need to get both. Little sweetie pie precious antique silk bed jacket that I did hand dye myself, and now I should hand steam desperately. Gonna add it to the pile of the other items that are gonna be getting visit from the steamer soon. Love the ribbed texture and material of this top. I think it's a great elevated basic, and also the color, obviously. Another great sort of elevated basic. And another, although, I mean, elevated basic, yes, but maybe this is more kind of veering into sweater territory than like the other tops I've been showing. I don't know. This to me is like, throw it with the tops. Also, love the crochet trim around the sleeves and the neckline. Corset style top. That's really great for just throwing on and heading out the door, grabbing a coffee, going to the grocery store, having to refill on my overpriced vitamin C serum. I don't tend to gravitate towards a lot of gray in my clothing. You've maybe picked up on that throughout this video. However, I do make exceptions, and this top is definitely one of them. It makes me feel like a sexy pilgrim. If we just want to keep the references going, I mean, hello, Stevie Nicks, the asymmetrical hemline with all the fringe. Ooh, God forbid a white girl tries to catch a vibe. Getting into long sleeve top territory now, starting off with this one from the brand Intimacy, which I got this a couple of years ago, and I really like their stuff. It's just like good staples. I can wear a ton. I think they're really versatile. My only things to note, if you're maybe interested in this brand, because I know they're kind of circulating around online right now, is that they are quite sheer, so be wary of that. And also, I would recommend sizing down. I'm wearing a small, and I think an extra small would work a bit better. But also, I've had this for a while, so maybe I just stretched it out, and I can't remember how it originally fit. So sexy, witchy meets pirate. What's not to love? More pirate than witchy with this next one. Also very much a piece that requires more kind of styling from me than something that I really rock on its own. Great layering top or going out. I love me some pretty black lace. I really do. And like this collar, the end of these sleeves. I already knew I liked sheer clothing, but I didn't realize how much of it I had. I guess it really is something I feel like is so versatile for styling. There's so many opportunities, again, especially with layering. So here's another one. Okay, so this is just a sweater. This should be in the sweater category, but because of how sheer it is, its top is that, are you understanding? Also, I love this color. I dyed it this color, actually, so, oh my god. I have such great taste. I'm such a visionary. Never been done before. It's more sheer and more fringe. Allow me to have a brief intermission to change out of that skirt and into this pair of pants, because I still have a few tops to show you that just are not going to work with that skirt. Although this isn't a styling video, I am still me to my core, and you know what they say, you can't run from who you truly are, right? And I needed to put on these pants to go with these next couple of tops. So what appears to maybe be a red and white striped top, if you get up close, is actually hot pink when compared with like true red items in my closet, which found this at the thrift. I thought it was red, then realized, oh, it's pink, and I'm not mad about it because it's cute. If you know me, then I'm sure you're well aware that I have a bit of a thing for collecting vintage t-shirts that say funny, cheesy, kitschy things on them, and I found myself in possession of some really good ones over the past couple of months, starting off with probably my favorite for self-explanatory reasons. Beer made this wonderful body, which I really extra liked this because I don't even drink beer. I can't. I have a gluten intolerance. Here comes trouble. Again, pretty self-explanatory. Vintage varsity kind of jersey top that I really love tops like this, but for whatever reason, they're hard for me to find in the correct size. This one, don't look too close. It's a little too small, actually. And also isn't like $200. Because they're really expensive. If you know, you know. And if you don't, you're probably shocked. Imagine how surprised I was when I saw that price tag that some people were asking. This was a consignment shop find that is randomly from the designer Christian Lacroix, who I can't say I've been a fan of in the past. I'm gonna post him. I don't actually know anything about him, so don't hold me to any of the words that I'm saying right now. I just saw this and I really liked the colors and it felt very fall. Look. I want to show you the bodysuits, but I don't want to take off my pants multiple times. I'm not fucking doing that. And so use your imagination, and me turning around like that's helping the situation at all. I have a navy, and then what is this, like a cornflower blue of these bodysuits that I found at an antique mall for like $6 each. They're vintage dead stock from the 80s, and I've really been wanting to get more bodysuits exactly like this, but I don't like any of the newer ones I'm seeing companies making, and I do know that I like the vintage ones, but they're kind of hard to come across because people usually work out and stuff like this. They get pretty nasty and don't hold up over time, but that's why finding these in dead stock was incredible and so lucky, and I love them. They're even better when they're actually tucked into the pants. Could it be seen as ridiculous that I bought that first, what I thought was red, but it actually was like a deep fuchsia and technically cream striped top, thinking it was more red and white, when I already have a true red and white striped top, like maybe, yeah, unserious. But they ended up being different, very different. And that's why I also still have this one. Little thermal tee that not only does it have a graphic on the front, but also on the back. Good old regular plain white thermal top. Okay, and then I have two button-ups, which are actually the last, like, technically tops I have to show you, and I don't know where else to put them, so I'm just gonna put them here and over the thermal. So I have this green, it's almost, I don't know what material this is. It feels like a really thin velvet. Oh, okay, 100% polyester. Well, ending this category off with a flannel, so random, but also kind of feels so right. I feel like regardless of style, it really is a rite of passage to have at least one flannel minimum in your wardrobe. Points if you found it at a thrift store for like $6 10 years ago, and it's just been with you ever since, and you sometimes forget about it and then rediscover it, and you're like, oh my god, my flannel! And you carry it with you for like the rest of time. Presenting my skirts, which, just like so many of these other items, it's a vibe-based thing. A lot of these could be worn all year round, except for the one that I am starting this category off with, which is a suede skirt that is definitely fall and winter specific, unless I'm wanting to have some major swamp ass, which I try to avoid, you know, to the best of my abilities. Figured I'd maybe start off with showing you all of the, like, come on, this is a fall skirts, and then get into more of like the vibes-based fall and winter skirts. Plaid, look at the shades of brown and orange happening in this. Have you ever seen anything scream fall more than this skirt? Also, $5 at the Roseville Flea Market a couple of years ago in like a random pile laying on some asphalt, steaming in the sun. I was like, you, come here to me right now. Another plaid skirt. However, this plaid skirt, it's a cotton material where that other one was wool, and the colors in this, well, like, yeah, can skew fall and winter. I'm picking up, it's like a little more verse. Shorter plaid skirt, but the colors in this, and it's made out of wool, so it's fall and winter. With like a knee-high boot and some tights. Solid classic red wool skirt that I love the pleating in this, very cute little retro schoolgirl adjacent vibes, and it has this amazing button detail all up the side, but I actually like to wear the skirt, kind of move it forward and have the buttons go up the middle, because those middle buttons, man, I love them. Are these designs picking up on camera? Because they're really cute, and they also make this different from that skirt you just saw, because although this is another vintage pleated wool skirt, it has a little pattern on it, and it's like the same length, but it's not technically red. This is more of like, you know, a burgundy maroon, darker red shade, whatever. Absolute dream witchy whimsy goth skirts that I got from a vintage store in London on a work trip like 4 years ago, 3 years ago. This mismatched paneling happening with a bit of black velvet, and then it goes into this like pretty little floral design and then into this black silk. God, it's so just like special and unique. I've never seen anything like this, and I certainly don't own anything else like this. I wish. Alright, so now we're kind of entering the goes both ways territories with the skirts, because although this is very colorful, it's cotton, it's lightweight, I did wear it this summer, it was great, especially like a little white Edwardian cami top, you know. It does feel very fall to me. Like I look at this and I see a scarecrow, and also like going to a pumpkin patch and apple picking and drinking some yummy warm cider. Like that's what this is really given to me. Next skirt is sort of the same vibe I'm picking up on, and I made this skirt. It is actually an old Levi's denim mini skirt and then a gingham skirt, and I wasn't really wearing either of them because the fit just wasn't really working on me, and so I decided to pair them together, and that's how this happened. Made this skirt as well out of 3 pairs of old Levi's jeans were sacrificed for this baby. It is a little heavy. It's kind of like when people go on walks wearing weighted vests. I'm doing that, but with a skirt in like a more cool, fun, fashionable way. And I have some patches on it right now. This is actually an old varsity letter that was my mom's in high school, and I'm hoping to eventually have the entire thing covered in just like fun patches. I've been wearing this skirt throughout parts of this video because it is a more recent addition to my wardrobe that has already become one of my most worn items. It's from Realization Par, it's silk, it has just like the most beautiful, perfect, stunning, gorgeous pattern on it. Like all of these colors are my dream together. Getting down to the last couple of skirts I have to show you. This one was a $3 thrift store find that I loved. The velvet with the kind of like paisley tapestry effect happening, and it's like kind of torn up at the bottom. It reminded me of an old antique curtain. It looks like somebody just kind of like tore it down and wrapped it around themselves and made it into a makeshift skirt, and it's very into that vibe. Last but certainly not least is just classic go-to black skirt that I can pair with endless items in my wardrobe. It is so versatile. I love pairing it and dressing it up with more kind of like statement items. I also think it holds well on its own. It's a great fit. It's really comfortable. Love how flowy it is. I also, if you get up close, there's a few layers of fabric with this skirt, and the top one is sheer and has little black velvet flowers on it, which is just a fun little detail that you can only really see when you get up close. And I really like when clothing does that. It's kind of like, ooh, a little surprise if I let you within my vicinity. Saved sweaters for the last clothing category portion of this video because I have a few different kind of like subcategories within the overarching category of sweaters. That is turtlenecks, if you maybe could have guessed I'm going to start with, and then I have some ponchos, and there's pullover sweaters, and then there's cardigans. Like it's a whole hoopla. Could have technically put turtlenecks into tops. That's what I'm wearing probably more so is, but I didn't want to, and this is my video. So turtlenecks are definitely one of my favorite aspects of fall and winter fashion. Every year I'm just anticipating the first chill in the air that I can sense so I can pull out one of my turtlenecks, and usually the sleeveless turtlenecks are coming out first. I have this really great orange ribbed one as well as this purple one, and a thick wool material, so the orange one comes first and then the purple will make an appearance. There's something so undeniably chic about a turtleneck, and I love when I can find them. I really like a thicker ribbed material for a turtleneck, and when they're in a good color like this green. The easiest things for me to find at the thrift store in good condition and also for a really great price, I'm talking $3, $4, $5, all of my turtlenecks are actually thrifted in like genuine $3, $4, $5 price tag thrift store. Beautiful cream Angora little turtleneck that is slightly see-through, and I don't feel like putting a bra or layering a top or even like a dress, which is usually how I style this, and then with a boot, and you get the vision right now, so that's why I'm censoring. I am nothing without my striped turtlenecks. I have 3 to show you. I would eventually like to add more to my collection, but the 3 that I do have are actually all from high school. So people want to talk about underconsumption gore and this and that, like I'm here. I think if I were to swap out this skirt for like a brown corduroy one from Brandy Melville, then this like almost exact outfit I wore every year for Thanksgiving in high school from 2012 to 2016. I mean, so clearly I stand by at least that choice. Can't say the same for a lot of choices I made in high school. Knowing me, I'm sure some of you were waiting for ponchos to finally make their appearance in this video. We have reached that category. Obviously, the red, the knit, perfect for layering. So oversized and just like a cozy wool blanket that has me in a hug, and it features pockets. So really, what's not to love about this? And black and brown color combo happening with some fringe. Like, This vintage poncho looks so similar to one that Carrie wore in Sex and the City, so much so that I've seen people online try and sell ones that look like this, like that one that Carrie wore, so obviously they mark up the price. Thankfully, I found this in a vintage store from a very knowing seller who gave it to me for 10 bucks. After ponchos, but before cardigans, comes my robes. My out of the house, fashionable, very cool, eclectic, older woman. She's chic, she's worldly. You can't really pin her down. You know, what's her vibe? Nobody knows. That's me in the future. I've seen it. It's bright. And I'll be wearing this robe when I'm doing that 30, 40 years from now. If we all last that long. This one's really good. Yeah. That red with the beading and the fringe and the tassels. This is it for the robes. It's a little hand-dyed by me. It was actually an all-white, like, bridal robe. I presume maybe wearing while you're getting ready on your wedding day. I found it at an antique mall. It's from the 1930s, and I said, I'm not gonna wear that on my wedding day. I'm gonna dye that and wear it with my necklace stack and a little vintage graphic tee, boots, and jeans to the grocery store. Okay, now we can finally get into like the actual sweater part of this category, starting off with cardigans, and this one, which is definitely a little too small on me, and I definitely do not care because I love kind of like Argyle pattern happening. It's very like clown court jester in a medieval court, which obviously would be my role, so it felt apt that I own this cardigan. Going from one extreme to the other extreme with this very oversized wool, like beautiful lilac-y purple cardigan that is just some more with the oversized cardigan. This one, I mean, the colors and the pattern on this are just incredible. It's almost like it's jacket adjacent. Not quite, but we're tiptoeing into that territory. I do actually need to pull out of my closet the rest of the cardigans to show you. Back to the teeny tiny cardigans with this really beautiful red cashmere one that's great for some light LA fall layering. Vintage varsity cardigan. This was a wonderful gift from a wonderful friend. More where that came from. However, this vintage varsity cardigan was not a gift. Well, I guess technically it was a gift from me to me. Comfy, cozy, waffle knit cardigan that just an incredible shade of green, and it's got some fun button detailing that I actually swapped these out myself. I thrifted this and it had green buttons on it originally, but I was just kind of into these, which I did this in a craft with me thrift flip video back in August, I think it was, so if you watched that, then you saw this transformation. This one explains itself. I need to be by a fireplace in a cabin in the woods wearing this immediately, and this is also getting us into my, if not explicitly like holiday Christmas, I'm not even religious and don't care particularly that much about Christmas, but more like winter time cardigans and sweaters, starting with this. This reminds me of a snowflake, and I love it so much, especially getting up close to see some of the button detailing. It's just beautiful. Let me pull out my Christmas category of sweaters. Just talking about snowflakes, I mean, come on. This one is, actually all of these are vintage. This one I got at Goodwill. It was like $8, and it's from the brand Express, probably 90s or sometime in the 2000s. It's only October, but I am feeling just holly and jolly currently. Wow. There's many different holidays, and I feel like I should have sweaters if I come across them for those holidays as well. Like this one that I wear every year on Valentine's Day. I mean, like the detailing on this, the cherries, the house, it's so precious. And it's another item that, with a skirt I had earlier, I had mentioned I found that at a vintage store when I was in London for work a couple of years ago. This is another item that I found on that trip. Now I have my non-seasonal, holiday-specific pullover sweaters with this one that was actually another sweater I got when I was in London. This like insane chartreuse, like neon lime green little cashmere sweater. Back to the closet to pull out the rest of my sweaters. Essentially the pullover version of my red cashmere cardigan that I showed is this. I love vintage cashmere. Oh my god, this one is so soft, and this like almost dusty blue color, it's just beautiful. The shape of this is crazy, but I loved it. It's so soft and cozy. I'm wearing a Snuggie. That's what I'm wearing. Like, yeah, this is comfy cozy. It's a glorified Snuggie. The sweater you just saw was cotton. This one is a mohair, and actually I'm wearing it now realizing this could absolutely be like a sweater dress. Never thought about styling it that way. I usually kind of like tuck it up under. Go for something a little more along these lines. Oversized cable knit mustard. Oversized cream Rory Gilmore sweater. If you know, you know. Is it a floral pattern that's happening on this sweater? I really have no idea, and I don't actually care. All I know is I like it, and I thrifted this last fall, and I wore it a lot, more than I expected. It was like frequently popping up in my outfit rotation. Another sweater that I thrifted last fall, and I wore so much. This actually might have been my most worn sweater last fall and winter. I love it. I mean, the blue and the green, it's one of my favorite color combos. So sometimes I like something enough that I'll buy it in 2 colors, but often I am thrifting or getting things that are vintage, and so I have to buy something that is vaguely similar and resembling it, but different enough. As you can see with this striped turtleneck blue and green sweater. And with this, it's actually the last sweater, therefore the last clothing item, a part of my fall and winter wardrobe that I have to show you. Oh my god, I've been filming for 3 days now, and I can't believe we finally made it here, and if anybody is still watching at this point, I have been saying clothing portion of this video because I am going to be showing you some of my fall and winter accessories as well as some of my shoes, because I know that some of you are interested and want to see that. I have thought about, and probably in the very near future, I'm going to make a dedicated video about my shoes and go into a lot of depth about my boots specifically, because I get a lot of questions about them, and I figured that would be helpful, and people have been requesting it, and so they want it. But we're not talking about shoes right now. We're gonna talk about hats. Da-na-na, da-na-na-na-na-na. Ugh, I fucking love hats. Vintage leather cap from the 70s. It is probably my most worn and absolutely my favorite. Wool navy beret that you can see on the back. This is another item that I did a little DIY on in my craft DIY video. Put a bunch of really beautiful pearlescent buttons all on the back. Kind of the perfect combo of those last 2 hats with this wool cap and this really pretty like plummy wine color. Green Juliet cap, or some people call them skull cap, that I got from a girl who hand makes them on Depop. Cream version from actually another girl who makes these, also on Depop. The most amazing green fuzzy hat that I got from an antique mall, and I can wear it like this, or I can flip the edges and kind of, well, fix my bangs and then kind of wear it as a sort of bowler hat. Black leather cap. Stay with me, please. Okay. Not styled like this. I mean, goes without saying for most of these hats, but this, it like kind of is worn backwards like that. It's blue corduroy, and I need to wear this with either my hair straight and down or in braids, and like black knee-high leather boot, trench, black dress. It's cool, you know? I'm so cool. All right, last hat that I have to show you is this just plain wool burgundy beret. Fall winter purses, and this is gonna be a brief overview because I'm gonna hold you vlog style, and I already know some people are gonna comment, so I'm gonna get ahead of it. I cannot show you my scarves and my belts and all of the jewelry and even the sunglasses. It's just like, we will literally be here for 20 hours. I'm just gonna need all of you to come to where I live, and I'll give you an in-person tour and we can like play dress up. Okay. The state of my room, please prepare yourself. Like I'm frightened. Right. Yes. This is awesome. So it turns out that the purses on this rack that you have seen this entire video as they've been hanging up behind me are actually kind of all, I mean, I showed these in my spring summer wardrobe video, my basket bags, but behind them, this is really almost it for the most part. I don't have that many purses in the most extensive bag collection. All of these are thrifted vintage, by the way. I did lay out on my bed the few other bags that weren't hanging on that rack that I do wear in the fall and winter. This one, a recent addition, most insane Wilson's leather bag from the 90s. This is from Fry, and it matches so well with a lot of my boots. I love the leather and the suede. And then this was a Sally hand-me-down, this beautiful blue velvet from the 1940s, and then this really pretty needlepoint one. And that's really it for the purses. Yeah, turns out I'm not gonna actually do the shoe portion of this video. I am going to make you wait. I'm sorry, it's good though. We're in a culture, there's too much instant gratification. Patience, it's an amazing virtue. I'm speaking to you, but I'm mainly speaking to myself. Major projection. Anyways, the shoe video is going to be coming. You'll see all of my shoes and my boots in there. Many tips and tricks, so look out for that. It's gone on long enough, so I'm gonna go. You should though, before that, if you are still here, let me know in the comments if you were going to rob me, what item in this video you would want to take. What's the top of the list? Because I love when people comment like, you're on my rob list, you're number 1, or I'm gonna break in and steal this item from you, and I'm like, oh, what item? I love to know what other people covet. So yeah, with that, I'll see you in my next video. Stay sexy. Bye.